Good morning, retail traders. This is the Sneaky Snake trading strategy where we talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And speaking of being in the now, about a couple weeks ago I talked about maybe AI might be in a bubble, that this run is irrational exuberance, and it's just way too much. It's way too much. There's too many tech companies, the top 7, that just took over the market. It's irrational exuberance. The fat cats were trying to convince the crowd that we were going to go ahead and build from the bottom, those other stocks that haven't popped yet, to fill the ground on these top 7 that have popped. I believe that they were trying to manipulate the market a little bit, and that we hit a critical resistance level that I noticed on the charts a couple weeks ago. And so that's when I came out with my bear flag idea. And we're going to talk about that. If you remember, happy birthday from Alan Greenspan. I was watching the market back during the Clinton administration when we had irrational exuberance on the internet, the dot-com era. And it was just starting to prove itself. Once it proved itself, only a few came out and survived that, all of them. I mean, there was just more than one company, 2 companies that came out during that era, just like the car industry was when the car first started coming out. Finally, the top 5 or top 3 were the leading ones, and that's going to be true with AI. But I do believe we hit a bubble because this is just irrational. And when they pumped NVIDIA, and we're going to talk about NVIDIA. Let me see what else I got up here. Let's talk about, see what happened in the news, if anything happened in the news on the NVIDIA. One chip stock to buy and not named NVIDIA. So there's already trying to brush NVIDIA off. Frontier's stock crash, cyber provider done for. AI stock Kathy Wood owns ranked the best to worst. So there's really nothing in here. AI mania trigger.com bubble. There you go. And I didn't even see that headline. AI, and I brought up the thought because I've been trading for such a long time that when you see a bubble, they're easy to notice. And this AI is a bubble right now, and it needs to consolidate for a new breakout. So yeah, right here, AI mania triggers.com bubble, flashbacks. Kathy Wood goes rally selling, so she's selling, she's getting out of her stocks. So there's a lot of good reasons why I think I'm in a bubble right there. So let's go ahead and look at the stock itself, the chart its own. So what I did here is I'm going to Fibonacci it up, but the first thing I notice on the clean chart that the CCI is down. We've got a triple bottom down here under the support line. Also, we're nearing down here to the double bottom down here on this here channel when we had the breakout after earnings and all them projections to 600, 650. I was just laughing at it. I was laughing at it because of this here big gap. I didn't give it enough time to consolidate in that gap, and she just 1, 2, 3, boom, boy, she took off. And in my strategy, I talk about 1, 2, 3 quite a bit. And then what we had here was a 1, 2, 3 breakout, boom. So she's pulled back to the 65 EMA right now, and I'm calling that a solid support. I think we can consolidate in between this channel, between the 65 and the 51 EMA. They both are EMAs, and maybe even if we do have a good solid run it up to the 50 and take your profit. Now, we are building a trend line down through here, and we could break that trend line too. And I'm going to draw that in right now, and then later I'll draw in the Fibonacci's. So we've got this right here, and I take the bodies of the candles, and that could be our resistance onto the upside, which is right around that 441 area to the top of that candle. But I personally would rather see it hit this 50 SMA or the 9 EMA. Now, if this 9 EMA, it's already crossed down the 21, which is a bearish sign. The 9 EMA crosses down the 21 SMA, that is a bearish sign. So if 9 crosses down the 50, I think this will not hold and start dropping down real bad. But this is a critical, and I mean critical support level, and I'll show you why in a second. If it does break this resistance line, then you can take and draw your trend line from right here to the body of that candle right there and hit that body and run that to the right, and that'll be your long triple top break or resistance right at 458. So the first scenario is we got to hold the 65 EMA and break the 51 EMA and run it up to the 50 SMA, and that's going to be our channel this week. If it does not hold the 65, I'm going to show you something here on the Fibonacci's. We're going to clean this up so we can read it a little bit better. And you clear it up like that, and I've got this here drop down where I can just go straight to my Fibonacci, and I can go ahead and run it to the top and run it to the bottom of that there. And if you notice, the 68% pullback right here from the top is right where we are right now. And we've got that 65 holding up, so we got the 62, percent pullback, which is right here. And that's where we closed at with a little push off the 65 EMA. So like I said, that's a confirmation of support. That's a confirmation of support. So if that holds, I think we could have a couple days up and then maybe start to pull back at the end of the week. I'm not completely bullish at all, but what I'm saying is if we hold to 65, we can stay and play the channel, play the Darvas box next week to the right 5 days in a row. If it does not hold that 65, I think it's a pretty good drop on down to this next double bottom out of this breakout. And then we got the gap to worry about, and that's going to get real nasty. So it needs to hold that and consolidate and then start to come back up and kind of just go with the sideways to keep the AI bubble in play. So we've got a confirmation of the CCI. We're starting to squeeze on the daily time frame. We are approaching the 65 EMA. And what we need to do is find resistance this week at the 50 SMA. And that's it. That's going to be NVIDIA. So kind of go back. You can stop. I'll go ahead and put that link of that there bubble thing article in the link below. And you can read that. And I wish everybody a great day. Retail traders. The Sneaky Snake Trading Strategy, where we talk chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. Have a great day.